Hey everybody, welcome to day 5 of Try Hack Me's Advent of Cyber 2023 experience. We are talking reverse engineering today, and I am so pumped to have the distinguished opportunity to be leading this room, making this video, and hanging out with you all over the next 30 minutes or so. If you don't know me, my name is Gerald Dozier. I am the Chief Content Creator over at Simply Cyber, where I am bent on helping everyone and anyone make and take a cybersecurity career further, faster, and we're doing all sorts of fun stuff over there, including Advent of Cyber rooms. Today we're kicking it wicked old school, going into what we consider reverse engineering. We're doing a Christmas DOScovery, tapes of Yuletide past. So you're already getting those old school legacy OS vibes. 3.5-inch floppy disks, looking at pixelated icons. It's going to be epic. Just to set expectations, my plan is to read through the story, step through the challenges with you. I'm going to be sharing my screen, but I want you to know that I'm big on education and knowledge share. So in addition to reading through the story as you could do on your own, I'm also going to be giving some context and maybe a little historical background. I've got gray in my hair, which means I've seen a thing or two. So considering this room is legacy, it's right up my alley. So I'm super excited. I hope you settle in, follow along, and have a good time on the experience. So let's get into it. I will do my best to do a dramatic reading of the story as we go through it. Let me take my camera off. The backup tapes have finally been recovered after the team successfully hacked the server room door. However, as fate would have it, the internal tool for recovering the backups can't seem to read them. While pouring through the tool's documentation, you discover that an old version of this tool can troubleshoot problems with the backup. But the problem is that version only runs on DOS, the disk operating system. Thankfully, tucked away in the back of the IT room, covered in cobwebs, sits an old yellowing computer complete with CRT monitor and a keyboard. With a jab of the power button, the machine beeps to life and you are greeted with the DOS prompt. Frosto, who is with you in the room, hears the beep and heads straight over to the machine. The snowman positions himself in front of it giddily. I haven't used these things in a long time, he says, grinning. He hovers his hands on the keyboard, ready to type, but hesitates. He lifts his newly installed mechanical arm, looks at the fat, stubby metallic fingers, and sighs. You take the helm, he says, looking at you, smiling but looking a bit embarrassed. I'll guide you. You insert a copy of the backup tapes into the machine and start exploring. Ooh, it's already begun. So check it out. In this particular room, we got a couple learning objectives. We are going to be experiencing how to navigate an unfamiliar legacy system. This is going to be a terminal-based operating system, the DOS disk operating system. Now, we're going to learn about DOS and its connection to its contemporary, the Windows command prompt. And we'll be discovering the significance of file signatures and magic bytes in data recovery and file system analysis. I do love the term magic bytes. It seems so whimsical. So here's the overview. The disk operating system was a dominant operating system in the early days of personal computing. Microsoft tweaked a DOS variant and rebranded it as MS-DOS, which later served as the groundwork for their graphical extension. By the way, hashtag preach in chat if you came up on Windows 3.11 like this old graybeard did. So the fundamentals of file management, directory structures, and command syntax in DOS have stood the test of time and can be found in the command prompt and PowerShell of modern-day Windows systems. With the likelihood of needing to work with DOS in the real world low, exploring this unfamiliar system can still be a valuable learning opportunity. All right, so we've kind of understood what we're doing with DOS. We're going to go ahead and get our environment stood up. Now, if you're using a VPN, that's totally cool. You do you, boo. But what we're going to be doing for this in order to make it accessible for everybody is we'll be scrolling up to the top and starting the attack or starting the machine. You see right here, top of day 5. Go ahead and hit start machine. It'll pop out a secondary window here on the right side. And while that boots up, just wait. It takes a hot minute. But essentially, that's what it's going to do. Now, once the machine is fully booted up, we're going to go ahead and double-click this DOSBox X icon right here on the desktop of this emulator. And after that, we'll be presented with a welcome screen in the DOS environment. Go ahead and double click it. Now, if you're familiar with the command prompt in Windows, DOS shouldn't be too much of a problem for you because of the syntax and commands. And by the way, just as a side note, if you're familiar with Linux, there's a lot of comparisons here for the Linux terminal shell. The commands are slightly different, but they are translatable. Some utilities are only present in Windows and not available in DOS, so they went ahead and conveniently created this DOS cheat sheet for us. And you can see here some of the commands they provide. CD is change directory, right? dir is list the contents of a directory, either the current directory by default or one that you specify. Type is very much like cat in Linux. It displays the contents of a text file. It just basically dumps it out to the command line. CLS is a quality of life command where it'll clear the screen and make it easier so you can see what you're working. Again, the Linux comparable is clear. Help is going to show us a list of commands that we can use, which is very convenient. And then here at the bottom is edit. And this is a text editor, so think of Nano or VI, depending on which camp you're in a Linux operating system. But essentially, edit is a text editor. You can see on the command prompt over here, we're presented with this splash page of Antarctic Crafts Tech Heartbeat. And you can see it's maintained by Greedster, hashtag ASCII art. Love me some ASCII art. I want to call your attention to right here, though, okay? This is the command prompt. We're at the C drive, and this blinking cursor right here is where we're going to be typing in input. So really quickly, let's explore what we're doing here. So we're going to type CLS. Remember, that is clear screen, and press enter. So inside the command prompt, we're going to type CLS. Again, you can see it right there, CLS, Charlie Lima Sierra, and hit enter. And it cleared the screen. Very nice. Now we're going to type dir. We're in the C directory, and you could see here in the root directory, it's going to show us all the contents. Now, it'll show us directories and files, and it'll preface the directories with this dir indicator. And then these don't have it right here. You see how there's no dir right here? Because they are files, and you can tell because of the file extension plus the file size. And just in case you're very new, a directory is essentially, think of it as like a folder in a Windows desktop. It's kind of an enclosure that holds more directories and or files, okay? So files are files, and directories are buckets of directories and files. All right, so we can see the subdirectories, obviously dev, game, notes, tc, etc. We're going to go ahead and use the type command, which remember just dumps contents to the console. Type plan.txt, okay? Type plan.txt. I'm going to hit enter. Now, I want to call your attention to something. Do you see how the contents of plan.txt dump to the screen? This is good, right? We can see all this information here. Very nice. One thing that it doesn't say it in the instructions, but I want to point out, you see how it looks like it's cut off up here? E, safeguard for creative endeavors. What is that? Well, let me show you really quickly. If you do type, or you press the up arrow on your keyboard, or type plan.txt again, right? If you do this, but before you hit enter, if you hit space, and then if you hit the shift key, hold the shift key and press the backslash above the enter key on your keyboard, so like top right of your keyboard, you'll get what's called a pipe. And this looks like a vertical bar. And you don't have to understand what it means or what it does right now, but just do type plan.txt space bar space MORE. So if you do this right here, we're going to actually dump the contents of plan.txt to the console, but then we're going to also tell it to do more. Let me show you what more does. Now you can see how it says more down here. It's only showing us one page of content essentially, and it's waiting for us to hit spacebar or enter to go to the next page of information. And you can see here now we've got, header information about the project name, language it was written in, a little bit of an intro. All of this was missed earlier. Now I'm going to hit the spacebar, and you can see now this looks familiar, right? This is back the second half of what we actually saw when we just did the type. So a little fun fact, little pro tip. I'm going to go ahead and type CLS just to clear the screen again. Now, we're going to use CD to change directories. We're going to do CD notes, okay? And you can see when we hit enter, we have officially changed directories into the notes directory. This right here shows you what your current working directory is. And this one, we're in the C drive. Now we're in C:\notes. So type in dir again. We're going to see the contents of the notes directory. And what we have is 2 text files, recruit and business. All right, I like that. Now to go up a directory, type cd space ... or period. This is nomenclature for going up a directory, okay? Going back. Not back, but going up a directory, okay? So hit cd space ... and hit enter. And you can see right there, it changed us back into that C:" root directory. So we just went up a directory, no big deal, okay? We're going to type the help command and take a look at that. And you can see here, this is very convenient. This shows us all the commands that are available in the disk operating system that we're currently using. You know, you can see the ones that were included in the cheat sheet, right? But then there's also this. We can copy a file. We can echo something to the command line, right? We could say echo, you know, advent of cyber 2023, right? And it echoes it to the console, right? Very cool. All right, so those are all the commands that are available. Now, the next thing says, let's travel back in time, okay? This is where the challenge is going to happen. We've been asked to restore AC 2023.back. This is our job. Our job is to restore this backup because shenanigans have been going on. Let's take a look. It says that the backup is in the root directory, but the backup tool is in this subdirectory tools backup. So let's go navigate to this directory and run this command. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to do cd tools / backup. Now you can change multiple directories at once, right? So we're going to say go to the tools directory, then go to the backup directory inside of it, okay? And you can see there, we went ahead and jumped right into that directory. And when we do dir, it shows us the contents of that directory, including this backup master executable. Now, just really quickly for everybody to understand, I've gone back to the root directory just for the sake of exploring something, and I want to show you something. We're at the root directory. I could do cd tools, right? I could do cd tools, hit enter, do dir, and you can see we have 2 directories, backup and edit. We want to be in the backup directory, so we could do cd backup and hit enter. And we're right there in that same directory right now. So just by doing cd tools backup, it just saves us a step. It's a quality of life thing. And when you get good at running around in terminal shells, that's what you'll typically do. You'll go right to where you want to go. All right. Now that we're in that directory, let's run the command that they're asking us to run right here. I'll be honest, I thought that said bum master when I first saw it, but it's bu master, bu master.exe space C:/ AC2023.bak. Now, this is what the command's going to look like, all right? bu master.exe AC2023.bak. We're going to hit enter on this, okay? Oh no, file could not be read. Error in file signature. Now, this is an exercise. Thank God we're not in the middle of a ransomware incident trying to recover from backups, because if you saw this, wah, 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 you're definitely going to get the trombone treatment if you're picking up what I'm putting down. So there is a README file inside of the directory. Why does that keep popping up, bruh? There is a README file in the directory. Let's take a look at that per the directions. We'll use the type command. Remember, type will dump the contents of a file. So we're going to do type readme.txt, okay? Boom. And you can see here, troubleshooting. If you encounter issues during the backup or restore process, be sure to check the first few bytes of the file in question. The first bytes of the file signature should be 4143. If these bytes don't match, it's likely the file is not compatible, or more likely, is corrupted. So you might be like, whoa, Jerry, what? File signatures? I've never seen a file sign for anything, let alone, a UPS package or something like that. but let's check it out. We used the type command to view the contents of file. We can also use the edit command, and you can see this, edit readme.txt. And this is the README file. This is the text editor. Remember I said Nano or VI or Notepad earlier? This is the DOS version of it. I want to point out really quickly, your mouse will not work in here. Your magic has no bearing in this world, okay? Like mouse, cursors, well, cursor will work, but you have to use arrow keys. Mice don't work in here, okay? So this is inside of the file, okay? Now, again, we're going to scroll down per the directions to the troubleshooting scene, and you can see right here, I'm just following the directions. We've found the troubleshooting section, which I already showed you. All right, so now you can't use the cursor to click on the navs at the top, so you have to hit Alt plus the F key at the same time, and you see how you get this pop-up? This is what happens when you hit Alt and F at the same time, and then we're going to press the X key, okay? I just want to tell you, you can press the X key or... oh my gosh. You can press the X key or you can use the arrow keys and move the cursor down to the exit. Again, I'm just so old and used to like using shortcut keys that I do it. So you can press X or you can press the arrow keys down to the exit and hit enter. Now, let's talk about file signatures, everybody, because it's about to get real. File signatures, or commonly referred to as magic bytes, are specific byte sequences at the beginning of a file that identify or verify its content type and format. These bytes often have corresponding ASCII characters, of course, allowing for easier human readability like me and you when we inspect it. The identification process helps software apps quickly determine whether a file is in a format it can handle or not, aiding operational functionality and security measures. Here's the deal. If you launch a program and feed it a file and it's the wrong file format, you don't want the program wasting time, energy, and resources doing something or trying to do something. You want it to just say, nope, not on my watch, and move on to the next thing. In cybersecurity, file signatures are crucial for identifying file types and formats. You'll encounter them in malware analysis, IR, network traffic inspection, web security checks, and forensics. Knowing how to work with these magic bytes can help you quickly identify malicious or suspicious activity and choose the right tools for deeper analysis. Now, they offer you a list of some common file types. Let me see if I can get the screen big enough to show you these file types, because I want to show you. Check it out. Right here, we've got magic byte and file format. So we got PNG, and you can see it's 89504E, right? GIF, I say GIF. Alana probably says GIF. A lot of you might say GIF, but it's got this format. Windows executables. This is a really famous one, 4D5A. We'll take a look at that one in a second, but 4D5A. Now, let me show you really quickly. Let me share with you so you guys can fully appreciate. So just to illustrate these purposes, I've actually got a couple files. I've got a PNG. I've got an EXE, classic calc. Somebody get John Hammond on the phone, and an MP3. Now, I've got this website called hexed.it. It doesn't matter. What's important is you can stick a file in it and it'll show you the underlying file structure. So I'm going to drop a PNG really quick, and boom, you can see right there 89504E470D0A. Going back to the try hack me. Boom, PNG 8950. You see what's going on here? Now, let's do one more. We've got classiccalc.exe. I'm going to drop that in here. And you can see 4D5A. I told you, this is the magic byte for Windows executables, 4D5A. It's right there. This is considered Windows PE or portable executable. You'll see this in DLL files. You'll see this in EXEs. And I want to point out, over here on the right is the ASCII conversion of these hex characters. And really importantly, you can see MZ. So a little bit of history for you. MZ are the initials of Mark Sabonovich, right? And I may have said his name incorrectly, but he was with Microsoft in the very early days. He was with them for like 25 or 30 years. He's responsible for the Windows PE executable file format. He was over the team that did it. And as a little Easter egg, to himself, I guess, frankly, or to all of us, he actually used his own initials as the magic byte for the Windows PE. So all the Windows files, all the malware out there that runs on Windows, all those things has Mark's initials in it, which is so cool in a in like a way that's like socially acceptable. All right, so you can see here these magic bytes. So let's keep going. Let's see if we can create our own DOS executable, okay? So let's navigate to C dev hello, dev meaning like developer. Now remember, I am inside of this directory right here. You do not need to go back to the C directory to jump to the directory they need us to. You can literally just type in C:\dev hello, just like that, cd C:\dev hello, and hit enter, and boom, just like that, what's up? We're in the dev hello directory. Now we're going to use dir to see what's in there, and all we have is this one C file, okay? C is a programming language, so this is a programming language of hello, or this is a source code of hello written in C, and we are going to use Borland's Turbo C compiler using the tc hello.c command, okay? Now, don't get overwhelmed. Like, you're like, I thought we were talking reverse engineering. You're over here compiling C programs. Don't worry about it, okay? This is just an ends to a mean. So type in tc hello.c and hit enter. It's going to launch the Borland Turbo compiler. I can already feel how fast it is. By the way, fun fact, if you're not well versed in programming, hello world, as you can see here, most times when you write your very first program in any new language, or you're experimenting, or you're learning how to program, hello world, printing it to the screen, is commonly the first activity, the first app, the first little functionality that everyone does. So that's why they've done it here. It's a little homage to that. Now, holding down the Alt key on my keyboard and pressing the C letter, you can see I've accessed the compile menu. Do not use the mouse to try to click on these things. It will not work. Your mouse has no power here. You need to use Alt-C to get the compile, and then we're going to go down to the Build All option. You can use the B command letter, or you can use the arrow key. I recommend using the arrow key so you don't get confused, and hit enter. Boom! Look at us. We're compiling, baby. Can't slow us down. If you successfully do it, you'll get this success message, and right here it's blinking, press any key, okay? So go ahead and press any key. Spoiler alert, there is no any key on the keyboard, much to Homer Simpson's chagrin. Just press the space bar, okay? Now, it says that it's compiled and dropped the hello.exe in the directory, but we're still in the Borland compiler, so we do need to exit that. Hit Alt-F, and then go down using the arrow keys to quit. Hit enter. We're back at the DOS prompt, okay? Now, really quickly, I'm going to press dir. You could see here, we just had C before, but now we have two other things, exe and object file. The exe is the executable that we care about, okay? We're going to use the edit command now and do edit hello.exe. Edit hello.exe. Now, this isn't a text file, y'all. This is a binary. Let's see what happens when we look at it. Oh boy. Whole lot of noise. Maybe you want to pretend to your younger brother that you're an elite hacksaw and that you can read this code. But between me and you and everybody else, we know that this is a text editor attempting to read the contents of an executable, which is basically nonsense. But wait a minute. What have we here? Do you see right there the MZ, the magic byte, the file format signature for this Windows executable? All day long, that's a PE. You can see that and know instantly, or there's a high probability that it's a Windows executable, right? Someone could just stick MZ in there and make it look like that. But that's what we got going on right there. So that is an absolute win. These magic bytes are an immediate identifier to any program or system trying to read the file, signaling that it's a Windows or DOS executable. A lot of programs rely on these bytes to quickly decide whether the file is of a type it can handle, which is crucial for operational functionality and security. If the bytes are incorrect or mismatched, could be data corruption, could be a security risk, whatever it is, it's not happening on my system, buddy. Okay? So go back and let's hit Alt F and use the arrow keys to go down to exit. We are back at our command prompt. We're going to do // right? We want to go back to the home directory or the root directory of this operating system. Here we are at the root directory. You should be at // at this point. If you're not, do cd // to get there. And once we're in here, you could see here's our backup file. Now remember, we tried running this backup file and it said can't work. We did it with our bum BU master earlier. It can't work. Let's use the edit command and do ac2023.bak. And there you go. Looks like they've put XX here. Okay, what is XX? That's not a real thing. We don't know what's going on. According to the troubleshooting section, we've read BU master expects the magic bytes of a file to be 4143. Remember, we read that in the troubleshooting guide. Okay, well, this is 2 bytes, right? These are hexadecimal values. They need to be converted into ASCII. You can't stick 4143 here. Remember, it was MZ. You can't stick 4D5A there, the MZ magic bytes. You need to convert it from hex 4143 into ASCII. So let's go ahead and do that. Using the tool that they provide in the story, we got rapidtables.com. I'm going to go ahead and type 4143, just like that. Dude, so simple, so easy. 41 space 43. And I'm going to click convert. Dun, dun, dun. AC. I'm thinking Advent of Cyber is what is happening here. Let's go back and check. Go back to the DOS editor window, move your cursor to the first 2 characters, remove XX and replace it with AC. And once that's done, save the file by going save file. So literally, we're going to, oh my gosh, we're going to take this XX and we're going to make it say AC. Okay, so let's do it. I'm using my characters. I do 2 backspaces. I do AC. It now looks like this. Okay, we've edited the file, so we have to save it. So I'm going to do Alt F. I'm going to use the down arrow keys to go to exit. I'm going to hit enter. Wait a minute, the file's been edited. Do you want to save it? All day long. Just press enter because it's already on the yes. Boom, baby. All right, so let's look at this. Oh, you can see actually the last edited file went from sometime in 1986 to 2023 when I'm doing this right now. Okay. Let's try to run that command again, the BU master. We'll go up to Tools, Backup, and we're going to do BU master, oops, AC2023.back. This is the command we're trying to do right here. BU master, exe, A02023.bak. Let's go. Oh, yeah. What's up, baby? Love it, love it, love it. You can see we got that classic CTF flag in the box. Let's go ahead and see what happens. You successfully repaired the magic bytes in the backup file, enabling the backup master 3000 program to restore the backup properly. With this restored backup, McSkitty and her team can fully restore the facility's systems and mount a robust defense against the ongoing attacks. Now back to the present. Good job, exclaims Frusto, patting you on the back. He pulls the backup tape out from the computer and gives it to another elf. Give this to McSkitty, stat. As the unsuspecting elf hurries out of the room, the giant snowman turns around and hunches back down beside you. Since we already have the computer turned on, let's see what else is in here. What's inside that games directory over there? Oh, LOL, belly laughs. Okay, let's answer the questions and get out of here. Great job, by the way, everybody. If you got this far, you're crushing it. I'm super pumped for you. How large is the AC2023.back file? All right, well, first of all, it's too bad because we edited it, but it probably doesn't matter. So let's do this. Here's a pro tip, right? We're gonna combine some of the commands we found earlier and get jiggy with it. So instead of going back to the directory and doing dir to see all the files, let's just say, give me a directory listing of this file, right? Boom. And there you go. See, now it just lists that one file. We don't have to maneuver around the operating system file, the file system and all that, and just kind of get after it. So it's 12,704. Let's do that. 12,704. Oh, yeah. Nice. All right. What's the name of the backup program? Okay, so check this out. when I was testing, I was getting this wrong. But let's do this. Excuse me, dir. Now let's look at the README text file. I'm going to use edit readme.txt and hit enter, and you can see the project name is Backup Master 3000. Backup Master 3000. And I just want to show you, like, going into the editor is kind of Bush League, right? Those are rookie numbers. We need to pump those numbers. So what I'm going to do is actually type readme text space pipe more, showing that technique that I showed you earlier using the pipe and the more command, right? And then let's hit enter. And there we go. Now we're talking. Now we're elite level hacksaws, getting it up. So the program's name is Backup Master 3000. Let's see if it's case sensitive. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Nice job, everybody. Let's keep rolling. What should the correct signature bytes be in the backup file signature to restore the backup? Now remember, the bytes are the hexadecimal value, not the ASCII character equivalent. And it was 4143. And if you don't remember, going back to that README file in the troubleshooting, you could see right here, the file signature should be 4143 right there in that readme.txt file in the tools backup directory. So let's go ahead and submit it. Oh yeah, that feels good. That does feel good. And finally, what was the flag after restoring? Remember we saw that flag? Let's go ahead and I'm going to just basically run the backup master command again because I didn't write it down. Classic me. I'm so terrible at CTFs. I never take notes. But we're going to run this command one more time. And there you go. This is our this is the flag that it's asking for, okay? Now, I was unable to figure out a way to copy and paste out of here. So you've got to I've got to type it. You do want to type it case sensitive. And this is Leet Hacksaw Leet speak. So there are zeros and numbers in here. So it's 0LD underscore 5CH00L underscore C00L underscore lowercase d 00 capital case D. And then the close bracket. I'm going to go ahead and hit submit. Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right. What you've done is a simple form of reverse engineering, but the topic has more than just this. If you're interested in learning more, check out the x64 Assembly Crash Course Room, which offers a complete, comprehensive guide to reverse engineering. Let's do a mic drop. Boom, baby, boom. We just did that. Guys, if you made it this far, congratulations. I'm so pumped. Thank you for doing day 5 with me. I absolutely love working with Try Hack Me. I love the cybersecurity community, and I loved this chance to, hang out and do this experience with you. I hope you got value from it. I hope you're getting value and enjoyment from the entire Advent of Cyber 2023 experience. Thank you for the opportunity. And if you want to see more of my content, head on over to the Simply Cyber YouTube channel. We literally do live streams every single morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Time, covering the top cyber news of the day for an hour. I give my expert analysis on all those stories, on what it means to you, how you can operationalize it, and how you can use it to break into the industry. I'm Jerry from Simply Cyber. This has been Advent Cyber 2023. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.